excited they could join us for part of this, but I want to really introduce Kelly Smith to all of you. So I'm going to read this off of a piece of paper because I asked her to send me some bio information. So Kelly is an advanced director from Wisconsin with career sale total of $750,200.00. It's probably changed since she sent me that because I can't believe she's zeros all those zeros. Anyway, $750,000 in career sales with 86 recruits. So there's no slowing her down with her incredible team. And listen to this, her team has added 20 new team members the first quarter of this year. They've doubled their recruiting and their organizational sales this year compared to last year. Doubled them. One thing that she never realized when she started this business was how much enjoyment she would receive from seeing her team grow and achieve their goals. So she's also a super busy mom who has a lot of plates in the air at one time, but does an absolute amazing job of running her business. So please welcome for the first session, Kelly Smith.
So Ann called me a couple months ago and said, will you help with my director retreat? And I said, I would love to. We have a lot of really exciting stuff going on in my team right now. So I had a vision a couple of years ago, or I had kind of a goal set a couple of years ago that I really, really wanted to move forward with where I was. I was sitting at a director for about 4 years, and I'm like, I want to just keep going. I want to keep going. So I was at National Conference. It was 2017 National Conference, so 2 summers ago, and I was excited to be in Claudia Bazar and Donna Landy's workshop regarding culture. And I wanted to move, and I knew Claudia was having super crazy recruiting growth and just promoting people left and right in her organization. So I knew the workshop was going to be really helpful, and one of the first things that she said was, I needed to create a vision so clear so that others could see themselves there too. That was the biggest thing. Create a vision. So that's kind of where I started. What can I do? Where can we go? What can I do to create this vision? And I said, don't get me wrong, we had a really great supportive team. It wasn't like we had pretty good team meetings. We were only having maybe like 5-6 people come, but we were excited for each other. We were supportive of each other. But I don't think I was emphasizing well enough to them what I wanted from my business and where I wanted our team to go. And I needed to make that, clearer for them. Exactly what Claudia said. I needed to have that bigger vision and make it clear to them. I also wasn't being very intentional about showing them the career plan often enough and showing them what could be in it for them if they just did this or if they just did this. So we had several team members that were very content on submitting just a little bit here and there. They were fine with that. We had no real goal getters or people that that were maybe talking the talk, but they definitely were not walking the walk of promoting. I needed to find a way to express to them where I intended on taking my business, but I was absolutely terrified of telling them because I knew I was being super bold with my goals. Super bold. I wanted to shoot for National Executive Director, and I was a director. So that was a big bold goal. That was a couple more levels to get up to. However, in the end, that was really what we needed. We needed for me to do that. We needed that big, bold goal. So this is where we started creating our culture. We've got our little bandwagon over here, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So, how we improved our culture. Let me change my slide here. So, how we improved our culture. So exactly like what Claudia said about creating a vision so clear that others can see themselves in it. Like Oprah says, create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life because you become what you believe. Sure, I'll try. I'm pretty loud too. I'm a pretty loud person, but I will do louder. Okay, so in Oprah. So, has anybody ever seen these colors before? Does anybody remember this printout from 2 summers ago? I really wish they would bring it back and bring it every summer. So this was where my vision came from. Our career plan ribbon colors. So Pampered Chef already gave me a head start on how to proceed. So I started by making a big emphasis on the ribbon colors home office uses to represent each level in the career plan. Does anybody here have like their ribbons on a national conference tag with them today? Nobody? Okay, I didn't know, because that's kind of, we get these ribbons. Who knows what you're talking about? And it's like really fun. Have you ever seen people's pictures where they're like at the bathroom stall and they're like hanging between their legs? Like, how many ribbons do you have? Like, people get really excited about their ribbons, and you know, I thought, I'm like, I think this could be a really good way to go. It's a really good way for people at conference to recognize each other. Oh, you're a director. What are you doing? You know, what did you do to get yourself to director? This is a national exec. You find people, seek out ribbon colors. You'd know what level they were at. You could go and try to seek them out. I was at a store shopping for our team meeting the week after conference. We were gonna have a big meeting, and I was trying to figure out what I could do to show this representation every month. I needed to keep this chart in their minds, and how could I do that? I was in the store and happened to walk past the party supplies, and I saw a stack of colored bandanas, and I was sold. So what's your color? That phrase, here, maybe I don't need to switch yet, hold on. Keep with your notes, Kelly. That's what these are for. So the phrase, what's your color, was born. What a fun way to show representation for the levels, and how fun for everyone to be recognized when they earn their next level. You get a new color of bandana. We wear them to our team meetings, all sorts of different ways, and our hair around our neck, like I've got mine on today. This is the color for Advanced Director. Kim over there's she's a consultant, so she's got her green bandana. She's wearing it around her wrist today. People, you know, wear them in our hairs. We all had kind of fun, like watching YouTube videos to try to find different fun ways to do bandanas. And people were starting to say things like, I can't wait to get my pink bandana, or I'm working on my red bandana. So next we needed to kind of figure out, like once we got them kind of sold on this, we had to get them to figure out a way to get our recruiting culture going, so people could start earning these bandanas, so they could get to that next level. So the next thing I learned was a formula. That was what I learned in the training from Claudia, was this formula. So the one formula, training plus rewards and incentives plus consistency equals recruiting culture. So I knew we needed to change our mindset to bookings, sales, recruitings. We needed to make sure we were focusing on that stuff every single meeting and rewarding those behaviors, and let them envision themselves in their next career plan level. So we needed to get that vision going. We needed to make sure that they knew what their recruiting goal was and what our team recruiting goal was. That's really important, to make sure that they know what you're seeking as a team together, so we can work towards that goal as a team. Our team name was going to be Team Bandwagon, jump on the bandwagon, and the bandanas helped with the culture and recruiting number, and the recruiting numbers did rise. In that first year, we did promote a first generation director last June, so a year ago, Sarah promoted. And to represent the different goals that we were setting for recruiting, we started off like small. We had like a poster board. We'd add a wagon wheel picture every month on whoever recruited. So that was one of the pictures I had from it earlier. Then this year it moved to a Canva board. And you guys can already see, we have already added, I set a goal for the first, well, I set 50 for the year, and we're already at 33 for the year. So we had 22 recruits in all of 2018, and it's beginning of June, and we've already hit 33 for the year. So it's different. I know, thank you, thank you, Mindy. So the bandana thing really helped in just all around talking about being on the bandwagon. Okay, so then we show the recruiting board every month, and we have it right here in front of them. We show it at all the team meetings, and we decided that, so when I decided to jump ahead and make it 50, we were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Are you kidding me? You know, we set our goal for like 20. We felt good the year before because we did set our goal for 25 because we had nobody recruiting at all. I mean, not a single, you know, I was pretty much the person recruiting, and then Sarah started recruiting. So 25 was pretty big and bold the year before, and we hit 22, so I felt pretty good about that. So setting it for 50 was like absolutely freaking me out. But like I said, it's crazy. But what we started doing is with talking about it, showing them and seeing that and putting that in their face every month, we were showing that our team, that simply that we recruit. That's what our team does, is we recruit people. Okay? Our numbers, like I said, our numbers skyrocketed. And then the next thing we needed to make sure is that we were also showing them organizational structure. So you want to always keep your organization in front of them as well. So recruiting goals, sales goals, and then your organizational structure. So here's our org. It's got a lot of wagon wheels open, or covered wagons open still, but what you're doing here is you're setting them up to be able to recognize that this is what an executive organization looks like. You have to have 6 first-generation directors to be an executive director and 2 second-gen directors to be an executive director. I'm working on senior director right now, but one of the other things that I also learned is you always want to leave room for growth. So you never, it's like not working at minimums. You don't want to work at minimums. You want them to see the bigger picture. So I have under each generation that we need 3 to be a senior team, and we need 1 second generation to be a senior director team. So that's what our new goal is right now. So we need 2 more first gen. I'm really hoping that we have 1 that might promote this month. That's our goal. And so we're working on this. So you have to make sure, I mean, I was scared of that. Like showing them, oh my gosh, executive director, that's crazy. We weren't even recruiting people last year. This is nuts. But you have to show it. You have to have them see it, and you have to let them have the belief in the team and in themselves. So you have to be able to be willing to show it to them. So the more and more you get this out there, talk about it, put it on your Facebook, you know, your page. We haven't started doing the, like a lot of teams, and you guys might even do this already, put your sales, and do you do that, Ann? Do you have like what your sales are for the month, like what your goal is for the month, and you do like a temperature gauge? Yeah, so a lot of teams do that. They're like, we're almost here, we're almost at our goal for the month. I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm kind of just learning Canva. I'm starting to get a little bit better at it. So, let me see here. Now I totally lost where I'm at. Let me see. Okay. So, oh, this was the other thing I wanted to make sure I told you. So the big thing is here is to have fun as a team. Encourage, reward behaviors, and in like the words of Judy Joel, if you guys have ever heard Judy Joel say this before, you can do, be, or have anything you want in this business. And you know, it all comes down to what you want, where you want to go, and then setting those goals. And I thought you were going to show it earlier, but there was, when we were at Lead, and there was a goal they put up on the board, and they were talking about goals, and they said, you have to set a goal so high that it makes you want to pee your pants. I was just like, I put it on the team page, I said, this is coming right from home office, people. You gotta make it so big that you want to pee your pants. So I just thought that was the best. So encourage, but remember, you can do, be, have anything you want in this business, okay? All right, let's see here. Let's go on to this one. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff we do. So here is when Sarah was still a team leader. So this is the kind of stuff we do. We have our bandanas on at meetings, and everybody's got, show your different little levels of recognition. And people do this with name tags, and they do it maybe with stickers and different kinds of ribbons, and there's just different things. Just find something that works for your team and that they get excited about. talk to them about it. Maybe if you haven't picked a name for your team yet, talk to them about it. Maybe make a decision together and think of something fun that you can do with it. So we make a huge deal when we have director promotions. We are very fortunate to have 2 different girls come to our team for hospitality. And we have actually, because of our teams and those 2 teams and our team, we've had 4 director promotions this year between Sarah and that. So it's been fun. They've gotten to see this a lot. We want behaviors repeated. So we make them a crown, we get them a sash, we give them red flowers. We've got all the bandwagon napkins and bandanas and all that stuff. So it just makes it fun, and it makes it's very duplicatable to do this then too. So they can see themselves that when they're in that position, they can do this to recognize their team members down the road as well. Some way to recognize them. So we have a super fun time doing that. We recognize behaviors as far as activity. We want to be paid at our level every single month. We want every team member to be paid at our level every single month. So we knew very quickly on that we were going to have to recognize activity. So we do an activity bonus winner every month on our team. We keep track of everybody that is green by 15. Does anybody not know what that means? Okay, because I knew there's a couple newbies. Green by 15 means that you've submitted at least $150 in sales by the 15th of the month. Okay, she's like, I'm good.
Yeah, I did it.
I'm good. You can go into the drawing.
Okay.
So we do that. We make a big deal about it on Facebook. We have a Google Doc that we share, or a Google Sheet that we share with our director team. So their directors, they just go in and put the names in. If they're active in the month at all, they get their entry 1 time into the drawing. We also recognize if they submit at least $750, we give them another ticket. And some months we might have an extra bonus ticket, but then we put all their tickets in, and on the first of the month or that first week of the month, we draw a name, and it's a simple $5 gift card to wherever we choose. It's nothing absolutely amazing or spectacular, but still they're excited that they earned something and that they were active for the month. So you have to reward that behavior. Get that we have more people being active now than, we might have only had 10 people active in a month before, and now we have 65 people active in a month, stuff like that. So it's been so helpful. We do a lot of trying to keep them aware of what their goals are. So like we had a star paper plate that we did actually we did it in February when we did the team product reveal, or the product reveal. So what was your goal for the year, and then the stars, the points on the star plate, they could write down how they were going to get to their goal. So that's just a really quick and simple thing. Get them at the party store, think that they can do, hang them at your office. If they did it, posted a picture on our team page, they got an extra ticket into the drawing for activity that month because they made an extra effort in their business. So just make things that are very duplicatable, so when they have their own team someday, they can transfer that stuff on. We use lots of Bitmojis. Don't we? Kim's like, yes, we do. We are Bitmoji queens. So recognizing them on our team Facebook page, shouting them out for being green by 15. We do it for all sorts of things. If somebody had a new promotion, we make a big deal about it and put a Bitmoji up about it. If somebody recruited somebody, we make a big deal about it. If we're welcoming a new team member to the team, we make a big deal about it. And so just find something that's fun and the people get excited about. So we have a blast trying to find things that have green in them. Like there's one this month right now that has a big Jello mold, and the person's the Bitmoji standing in it and they're jiggling. So we just have fun with that. That's what it's about. It's not necessarily, you have to remember to not make it that about the numbers. You've got to get that culture going. So you've got to make things fun for everybody, and they get excited about it. So like I said, we use lots of Bitmojis. Okay. Mid and end of the month challenges. Since we've been really focusing on activity, we want to make sure that we're offering our team every single month some kind of a challenge. We try to do it around the 15th of the month. And sometimes it might be later in the month if we're seeing good things or if we're just busy. But this one, Kim, actually, this one is you. This was a message I posted on our team page. Not active yet this month. We want you to be paid at your level every single month. Here's a quick challenge to do in the next three days, and it was trying to sell the Help with Cancer Twixit clips. Kim posted below that. I want to thank Kelly for sharing this awesome idea. I was sitting at $44 on 5:30 with the party at 0 sales, and I posted this and ended up with 34 orders, which was enough to make a qualified party. She probably wouldn't have been active that month. So do little things for your team. Come up with little things. If you've got a big group of upper level directors on your team, team leaders and above, have them pick, you get to decide what the challenge is going to be this month. Next month it's your turn to hand out the gift card. Don't make it all your responsibility. Make yourselves work together as a team with your upper level team leaders, okay? Team leaders and directors. So little challenges like that can really go a long way. They can make and break a lot of people's months for sure. So, offer those. If you haven't, there's all sorts of them floating around all over on Facebook too, so you can always find them. You can always even simply do paring knives to do a roundup from the heart little challenge. So to see how many paring knives you can sell, that's always a good one. All right, let's see here. Plan group events together. This was our team. We went to the Rachel Hollis Made for More documentary back in January. So this was just a picture I pulled. So we did that as a team. And it just brings good camaraderie between each other, and we had a really good time. We went out for dinner before, we went to a movie. So just make sure you're trying to do fun things like that. We've been kind of trying to do things about quarterly like that. Plan maybe like a paint night. Something doesn't always have to do exactly with your business, but that even gave this one, gave it even a little bit more of an incentive. We had them do what they learned from it. They wrote down different things and posted them on Facebook. And we ended up doing a challenge after this as well. And the person that won the challenge, she won a Girl Wash Your face book. So just, something simple like that. It doesn't have to be anything. And a lot of that kind of stuff too, even like with the gift cards that I'm doing, I always just order them off of Amazon and have them emailed to them, or you can print them and mail them to them if you want to personalize them a little bit more. But even the book, I then turned around and ordered it on Amazon and sent it right to your house. You're not having to make a lot of extra work for yourself that way. So, all right, so plan group events. Let's see here. Okay. Trip incentives equals goal setting. Reword everything you want repeated. So we want activity repeated. We want recurring repeated. And one of the big things that we decided to do this year is we got some information from Executive Director Julie Ritter out in Arizona. And maybe some of you have seen it, and I'll be happy to share it on the page if you didn't. For team trainings this year, she decided to designate every month of the year as a particular Disney movie, and then she gave some kind of a lesson based on that. So we were like, what could we do with this? She had already created this great information for us. What could we now do and transfer onto our team with this? So we decided to just make it super special and reward them with a charm every month based on what the whatever character or movie theme it was. So the star was Pinocchio, When You Wish Upon a Star with Jiminy Cricket. The feather was Dumbo holding the feather, and the rose was for Beauty and the Beast, and the bottom one, you can't really tell what it is, but it's like a fairy for Tinkerbell for Peter Pan. So there was, Julie had the lessons. I don't know, did anybody else see that? All the different things. So that was what we chose to do with it. And we just, as a director team, we just divvied it up and ordered charms and made it a team effort. But our girls get super excited every month on which charm they're gonna get. So if they're active in the month, they get the charm. So they really enjoyed that. If they're active 3 months, we have a little green charm we give them too. So just to be green. being Green Charm. So we thought that was super fun, and they've all had a really, really awesome time with it. So it's just stuff to make it fun every month. We've also gone from having about 5 or 6 people at our meetings to 15 to 20 team members at our meetings. And like, wow, I mean, that's been crazy too. So we're just gonna try to keep the momentum going as long as we can. So this is another way we recognize. Here, I gotta click on, I might have to come around here. People love to be recognized. And this is another way we put the career plan colors into motion. Here, hold on. Okay, so last month we had a director promotion. So we had this on our Google slide, and this is what we had at the meeting to show that she promoted to director, and we, that's when we gave her her crown and all that stuff. But we have this available. Then we simply go to doing our recognition. When we have a director promotion, we bring the information from Director Bowen back again, and we want to always talk to people about what it takes to become a director. So we want to make sure, just like you did earlier today, Ann, you did the same exact thing. What are the different bonuses you get for being a director? So we cover, as a director, you increase your income, you have larger and higher overrides, get $10 bonus every month for each active consultant, receive $250 dollars, build on your skills, enjoy special privileges, receive free product samples, get an elite seller. So we talk, about that, and kind of just then again go over the structure of what it takes to be a director. So we simply touch on that again whenever we have a director promotion. Then we will congratulate anybody else that just promoted. So the girls earned their pink bandanas because they promoted to team leader, so we make a big deal about that, and we present them with their bandanas, and everybody gets excited. And then we recognize each team, and then this is where we're telling them each month, then of course each director posts on their team, we're telling them each month what our May sales goal is, what our May recruiting goal is, who are our top 3 sellers, who had team recruits, and what our team sales were for the month. So we do that with each director, or each team I should say, so we go through it like that. And then we move to blue because I'm an advanced director. And then we recognize every single person that was active on the team because they matter, like Ann said, they matter. You need to make sure you recognize them. Just because they weren't your top 3 sellers, or you weren't, they only had $150 in sales, they still contributed to your team sales. Make sure you recognize them. They want to see their name up there too. They don't want to be the person that is not ever getting their name put up on the board. So we want to make sure we recognize them. Then we always make sure that we share what our director's stats are, so people can really kind of see that we're still working too. And see my sales, you could make this kind of money too if you worked a little bit harder. I did 8 shows last month, and this is what I had in sales. So you just want to make sure you're keeping it in front of them. Then we talk about, we go on to our organizational growth. So we had 187.7% increase on activity over last year. And I said 33 recruits by June 1st, which we only had 22 for the entire year last year. And we have a 195.5% increase on number of shows being submitted. So, it went from 22 shows a month last May to 65 shows. That was just my personal team too. So that's great. It's crazy. So I think that's all I have on here. Yep, that was my last slide. So does anybody have any questions?
Kelly, not
Yes.
a question, but since we have half the room is non-directors yet,
Yes.
and you shared about some incentives that you offer,
Mm-hmm.
tell them about the activity money that you get for each active person, because you kind of skimmed over that.
Yeah, so we get $10 on our paycheck as a director for each person that's active on my team. So the things like the charms that we're buying for the bracelets and the $5 gift cards that we're giving away every month, that just kind of comes out of my activity bonus money, if you will. And I just kind of set that aside, and I know that I have that a little bit of extra money, so I might be able to give something bigger away some months because we had bigger activity, but it's just one extra thing that's going to add up on your paycheck if you get all of your team members active every single month. So I always tell my girls too, 'cause we don't have any guys yet, I'm hoping one of these days I'm gonna not be able to say that anymore. I tell my girls. But I always want to remind them, I don't think when they started this business, they signed up to just do one show here or there. I think they really had intentions, most people had intentions of really giving this an honest try. And so I don't want them to think about it. If you have to go, I've had a lot of girls say, well, I really need to go and get a part-time job now because, this isn't working. Well, I don't think you've tried, first off, and you're telling me right now that you don't have time to do one show a week or something, but you're gonna go and take a part-time job at Quick Trip, and they're gonna ask you to work 4 nights, and you're gonna pay like $9.75 an hour, so that's when you really can put things into perspective with people. So I don't think you started this business just to do one show a month. And if you did, you should know that. You should already know that about them. Make sure that you know what your consultants' goals are. Make sure, we're gonna talk a little bit about that when I do my presentation with my Google and systems. So, but you have to have a system for that. You have to make sure that you know what each consultant, when they start, what they want from this business, and then you have to readdress it with them here and there because it may have changed. And that's when you're not seeing them perform at the level that you want them to be performing, or they said they wanted to perform at, and then you can say to them, you told me you wanted to do 4 shows a month and I'm only seeing you do 1 or maybe even 0. Has something changed? You need to find that out because how did you say that? You've got it, the one national exec said your goals are gonna change.
Right, you have to adjust your goals.
You have to adjust your goals. Thank you, that was the word I was looking for. So you're gonna have to adjust your goals sometimes. Believe me, I'm probably the person in the room that knows that the most. I lost my husband in November, very unexpectedly. I am now the sole breadwinner of the family. I have to work my business because I have to replace a big income. So it's you can do it. I'm living proof that you can do it. You know what I mean? If I can do a show a week after my husband's funeral, I was like, I need to just do this because I need to do something normal. So that was normal to me. So I told Judy Joel that my business is the only thing I have control over right now. So it's the one thing that I can really focus on besides my kids. Don't make me cry. So yeah, but does anybody have any questions?
And you guys, we're gonna hear from Kelly again.
Yeah.
In just a little bit on
Yeah.
how she manages everything.
Yeah.
So we'll let her catch her breath here. And the people on Zoom, I'm gonna sign you off. You can pop back on at